Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Soin and Foggy. This game taking place here on Turtle Rock. We have Sowen spawning as the blue orc, what I will call the 3 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Foggy spawning all the way on the other side of the map. SPX Foggy spawning as the pink night elf. Night elf versus orc in a 1v1 matchup. Here we are going in Altar of Elders. Moonwell, there is that Ancient of War. Things are already getting underway. Should be looking at a Keeper of the Grove with some early archers. No strange shenanigans or tactics here, at least not out of the gate. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in as we look into what is going to be happening in this matchup. All right. So what is going on? Well, it's been a year since Reforged was released, and I gotta say, I hope Blizzard and Blizzard Activision learn some lessons there in terms of development, in terms of management, right? And hopefully I don't wish ill will on any corporation. I don't know, corporations seem to have a bad happen to get a bad name for some reason. Yes, there are bad corporations out there, and yes, companies do want to make a profit, but then isn't that what people want to do? Right? Like, hey, I wanna get up today. I wanna work really hard, and maybe at the end of the day, um, I I want to earn some money, right? I want to be paid for that, right? Isn't that how the economy works? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Foggy, gonna go ahead and pull back, aggro the Ancient of War, grab some giant sea turtles, literally, literally soul-sucking black holes. They are not. They are not. Keeper of the Grove going to come in, join in on the fight here, picking up, going to be able to entangle, finish off this peon here. Meanwhile, back across down here, Blade Master is going to go ahead and engage. Blade Master going to perhaps wind walk, try to pick up a circlet of nobility, and make his move out across the map, doing a little bit more damage, having a little bit more mana, and being able to take a little bit more damage as well. All right, last shot right there. Blade Master unable to get the shot as we're going to look at the Keeper of the Grove getting an entangle off onto that grunt. All right, Archer now trying to get away. However, a nice body block right there, meaning that Archer has a difficult time trying to head back. All right, Blade Master may end up having to finishes off the Archer. Very high damage on that one shot there as the Keeper of the Grove still trying to keep up with that one grunt. All right, there's one more entangle there. That should be enough to finish it off. And where Cloak of Shadow is going to be enough to... able to finish it off there. 20 to 26 damage. Difficult to get that last hit. Keeper of the Grove going to retreat now. Cloak of Shadows allowing the Keeper of the Grove to hide in broad daylight as long as it is staying stationary. Extremely useful here as the Keeper of the Grove will heal back up and get a little bit more from these two additional Moonwells that he's setting up. Back across here, Blade Master going to go ahead and use that Wind Walk trick to go after the Ogre Magi. Wind walking past those two units allows that Blade Master to, avoid damage completely from the two Ogre Warriors in the back since they are kind of just spaced out poorly. It will drop a sentry. I believe it drops a sentry ward, and then what is going to be that item? Is going to try and wind walk away. Dust of Appearance picks up a Ring of Protection +3, has a Staff of Teleportation, and now going to teleport back home where there will be some healing salves waiting for him. Blade Master, Healing Salves, Clarity Potion already wandering off across there, picking up that Dust of Appearance, hoping that, Foggy relies too much on that entangle once more. Foggy is a bit behind at this point in stage in the game here. And let's take a look. Ogre Warrior about to get taken down, needs 5 more hits or 4 more hits, 3 more hits, two more hits, 1 more hit. Gets the damage onto the Blade Master. Who's going to get the shot off there? Keeper of the Grove gets the last hit there. Blade Master unable to steal that kill as the Keeper of the Grove is at level 2 now. Foggy going to go ahead and just drink back from the Moonwells and then move on once more. Master Fisherman, thanks for tuning in. Yep, that was a very close one. Little bit of experience going a long way in those situations. As the Blade Master going to get a rude awakening, as the Keeper of the Grove is right there. No, Keeper of the Grove gets a rude awakening. He's taking far more damage than he wants to. And well, there's a Dust of Appearance right there. No, Dust of Appearance. Blade Master is actually taking a large amount of damage. Blade Master, Cloak of Shadows. This is rather fun. However, the Ogre Magi's and the Ogre Warriors stopped their engagement as the Blade Master being forced to retreat. Where are all of the units going to travel off to next? It looks like it is going to be a mass tech to tier 3 Ancients of Wind, Druids of the Talon, getting more and more popular. The Blade Master does have Dust of Appearance, so does that Keeper of the Grove. And what we may end up looking at is the Shadow Hunter showing up to the party, perhaps getting a Hex off, or no Hex. Keeper of the Grove is just still standing right there. All right. Using Nightfall, regenerating some hit points. Blade Master, Dust of Appearance going to try and go after. There is that Shadow. Oh, there's a Surround. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, we are. Right there. Shadow Hunter could easily try and get a Hex off. I don't know why the Demon Hunter didn't at least initiate a mana burn, since he had a get out of jail free card in that Scroll of Town Portal already. Staff of Preservation being used. Great game so far. Nice move from both sides. Yeah, a lot of higher level decision making already happening, and some good micro as well. Keeper of the Grove gonna get an entangle off onto a Grunt here. That Grunt gonna have some bad days. Healing Wave bouncing around once more. Blade Master trying to zone away here as the Demon Hunter should be trying to mana burn that Shadow Hunter indeed. There's that mana burn. There goes one. We should be looking at perhaps another Healing Wave bounce, as the Demon Hunter could have a very bad day still. Keeper of the Grove, Scroll of Speed now being used there. Keeper of the Grove could try and go off for another entangle, doesn't have enough for it, and now gonna go ahead and see a little bit of damage onto that Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter getting purged to shake off that entangle, as the Keeper of the Grove just trying to run past here is going to be able to do exactly that, down to 195 hit points and still trying to run back off. Staff of Teleportation, no Hex. Are we going to see a critical strike? No, we will not. However, down to 27 hit points. An extremely close call right there. Perhaps a Moonstone will need to be used to make sure that these Moonwells are not blown dry. Daybreak about to happen here, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Demon Hunter gonna go ahead and go after this giant sea turtle creep camp. All right, gargantuan sea turtles, they do take bonus damage from these Druids of the Talon. All of a sudden, 26 or double damage from all of these Druids of the Talon here, making that very easy to finish off. Wand of Mana Stealing was not the target that he was hoping for, but this is what I was expecting in Night Elf versus Orc match here on Turtle Rock. Going after these gargantuan sea turtles, perhaps trying to get to level 3 onto this Keeper of the Grove. Ancient of War has absorbed far too much damage, and the question then becomes, what are these players going to be doing next? Hero levels relatively low. Level 2, the highest hero so far, as Foggy is still getting in additional Druids of the Talon. We should be at Mastery Training momentarily. Yep, and Mastery Training just around the corner here. And if the Demon Hunter also grabs an Orb of Venom, we could see that Orb of Venom stacking, well, becoming very, very effective here. Ogre Lord getting surrounded, as, well, Orc players often do, to try and trap out that Ogre Lord. Claws of Attack plus 12. Could you think of a better item for that Blade Master? I can't think of it right now. Talisman of Evasion, or what, Staff of Teleportation could be given to the Shadow Hunter, trying to free up an additional item slot. But the Blade Master's problem right now is that he has too many items, and with that many items, well, he's going to have a difficult time. Well, yeah, he's going to have a difficult time also having a consumable item to keep him alive in that front line. Goblin Tinker as that third hero here, a way to deal damage to buildings and zone out. Demon Hunter desperately wants to get up to level 3, and that's what we're going to be looking at. The solo creeping of this gargantuan sea turtle creep camp, and most likely will be giving level 3 to this Demon Hunter. Blade Master has the Claws of Attack, plus 16 damage, and that is without Kodo Beast Aura. So we could even see into the plus 20 damage range with very fast attack speed off of 2 Gloves of Haste. Demon Hunter now back out onto the field. Are we going to perhaps see a Mana Burn? There's a Mana Burn. Nope, no Mana Burn, no Fairy Fire either, as the Scroll of... Wait, what's going on? He was invulnerable. Oh, wait, what? Oh my goodness. Demon Hunter, Keeper of the Grove, thought that they could scroll a town portal back with the Demon Hunter, realized that, wait a second, no, the Demon Hunter was off in the wrong location. Split army right there as the Serpent Wards now finish off the remaining units here. No real damage done, but burning burning 2 scrolls of town portal, not how Foggy wanted to go about that battle. Losing that 250 gold when you're only running up on one base, that does translate into a unit or two. As we're looking at the Druids of the Talon, making sure, yep, no, this expansion has already been cleared. That was, yeah, a big enough blunder. We'll see what it translates to overall. Keeper of the Grove and Demon Hunter both sitting at level 3. We do have a Goblin Tinker sitting at level 1. Wand of Staff of Preservation teleporting that back home. Are we going to see a Moonstone be used? Still no Moonstone used, and only 4 Moonwells. Perhaps one additional Moonwell should be trained up just for additional healing at night, or perhaps the upgraded upgrades for those Moonwells so that they have a higher capacity. Now, we can already see that Sowen has upgraded his orc burrows. He is not afraid of Druids of the Talon and their magic damage on those orc burrows indeed. We are also looking at the Tauren totem, going for the Spirit Walker Adept training for that disenchant. All right. Pocket Factory already up and running. We're going to be looking at the Demon Hunter and, well, the Druids of the Talon really focusing down that Gargantuan Sea Turtle. You can see how much damage it does, coupled between... Wait. Oh, Potion of Greater Mana. Was that picked up by the Blade Master? I believe it was. And the Blade Master getting in some big shots right there, now going after those units. All right, are we going to see a Mana Burn? No, we are not. And it looked as though the Goblin Tinker, yeah, the last hit definitely went, into for Sowen, as the Goblin Tinker is still very, very low on experience. Back off to the north, Ancient of War about to get taken down. It is trying to be repaired, trying to regenerate those cells. Are we going to see a Mana Burn? No, we are not. Wisp taking a little bit of damage there. Ancient of War going to get back into position once more, as the Druids of the Talon have really become, or have really fallen back into favor, it feels like. As a way to try and deal, to put a lot of pressure. Demon Hunter still could use an Orb of Venom. I wonder, Goblin Tinker, if it could use an Orb. No, Orb of Venom. Goblin Tinker shouldn't really be using that many auto attacks either. But the Goblin Tinker as a hero choice, unless he's trying to put pressure on the buildings, does fall a little bit short. All right. We're looking at perhaps an engagement over here to the top left-hand side. The Watchtower is already under construction here. An Ancient of War already built off to the side as well. This will get scouted out. But all this is really doing is buying time for Sowen to clear out a relatively difficult creep camps while only canceling an expansion. 2 peons lost, but the amount of experience and the items given off of this Ogre Lord creep camp definitely worth it, as we see a Helm of Valor given to the Shadow Hunter. Helm of Valor most likely will be transferred off to that Blade Master in just a moment. There's a Rune of Healing as well, but the Shadow Hunter getting to level 4, that is going to in fact be a big deal indeed, as we're looking at the last Forest Troll Berserker perhaps giving level 4 to the Blade Master too. All right, should be looking at a trade, Helm of Valor for the Circlet of Nobility. A nice little trade off right there, as that Blade Master up to plus 19 damage, better hit points, a little bit less mana, but at this stage in the game, the Blade Master's critical strikes are worth more. Army trying to put in pressure right here. As you can see, the Orc Burrows really not suffering that much damage at all. Fortified armor, instead of dealing bonus damage, now actually having reduced damage overall. So instead of upwards of 26 damage, it now goes down to 5. That goes to show you how effective armor can be. Meanwhile, Moonwell about to get destroyed. There in comes the army. There's a quick Cyclone here, and the Blade Master maybe tried to force an engage. Are we going to see a Mana Burn? No Mana Burn, no Fairy Fire onto that unit either, as we should be getting a repair on that Moonwell. Sowen is sitting at 61 supply. Foggy is sitting at 50. Sowen has more reason to engage and attack. Meanwhile, Foggy doesn't really need to pursue all that much. The majority of the creep camps have been cleared out. Only the 2 remaining red creep camps and the in-between Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camps are available.
A player's forces are under attack.
Now, at this stage in the game, what is Sowen's strategy? Sowen sitting at 61 supply, not going further into low upkeep. He will have an army size advantage in that next battle, but it's not really it hasn't really translated to victory on the battlefield yet. Meanwhile, as the Goblin Tinker gets a little bit faster and gets a little bit stronger, things can go sideways very quick. We're looking at the Forest Troll Warlord getting taken down here. Keeper of the Grove, Orb of Venom damage will help. Adding in Scourge Bone Chimes, which is perhaps the least useful item out of all of them. Only the Goblin Tinker, the Demon Hunter, and maybe the Treants early on will be able to benefit there. As we see, as I talk about Treants, it was quickly scouted out. A great haul once again is scouted out and will, yeah, was scouted out right there. Mana Burn perhaps going down onto that Blade Master. No Cyclone in time. Scourge Bone Chimes not going to be very helpful. More Moonwells being placed down as Foggy finally in low upkeep as well. Sowen in low upkeep as we're looking at a potential engagement. All right, free experience from these Serpent Wards slowly but surely. 297 297 experience. We're looking for level 3 next on that Goblin Tinker. That will be the next important notice as the Forest Troll Trappers here are getting cleared up. Ancient of War. Well, being built off to the side, will probably walk on over to try and take down this Great Hall. It's almost halfway done. Took a little bit of damage under construction, if you remember from those Treants earlier. As we're looking at a third Gloves of Haste, perhaps given to the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter also having plenty of Scrolls of Healing, and with Spirit Link on the board, well, it is going to be difficult to take down these grunts. I am curious, though, why Sowen is actually opting to train up grunts in this battle. Normally, you see raiders in this particular situation, as the raiders are able to ensnare and also don't take bonus damage from those druids of the Talon. The grunts are just rather weak units in the fight with one fairy fire. The druids of the Talon feels like they can just completely blast out a grunt in maybe 2 or 3 volleys, maybe 6 volleys necessary if you are talking about having it spirit linked, but that damage still does add up over time. All right, back down to the south here. Ancient of War Raiders are in position, trying to shoo away all of these units. Are we perhaps going to get a couple of entangles or a Cyclone here? A Cyclone would have worked out well. You can see that grunt taking so much damage over time. Mana Burn onto the Spirit Walker could finish it off as well. We're looking at 100 points of damage. Are we going to see a Mana Burn? Yeah, Mana Burn right there as the unit is still trying to retreat and run back. All right, that unit moving quite fast, I got to admit, even though it is, there was no movement speed upgrade. Well, it feels like it was moving fast. The Demon Hunter really unable to catch that, as we see a quick ensnare go down onto that Fairy Dragon. Fairy Dragon quickly finished off here. Units are now trying to retreat back. Disenchants, healing waves going back across multiple units. Druids of the Talon could be finishing off those Spirit Walkers pretty easily, as the lines look very strong. Foggy with a slight supply advantage, still battling it up. Blade Master going after the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove just running around in circles, hoping to stay alive, keeping that Blade Master out of the battle for as long as it can. Units are starting to fall on both sides there. There goes another Raider, a low hit point Druid of the Talon, still somehow in that front line spot, trying to stay alive here as the Keeper of the Grove. Well, there's, I believe, a potion of healing as one Druid of the Talon does fall. Staff of Preservation saves the Keeper of the Grove. Lightning Shield now going down onto the Druids of the Talon, and that is going to make Foggy have to shift all of his army to just stop some of that damage here, as the Keeper of the Grove going to return back here onto the battlefield. All right, continuing to fight its way through. Spirit Link going to mitigate some of that damage. There's a Scroll of Healing as well. Blade Master going after the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter trying to retreat back. Goblin Tinker still right there. Pocket Factory still churning out units. 52 supply compared to 65. And Sowen looks like he's the one smelling like a rose after that long engagement there. Beautiful play by the Shamans to get Lightning Shield down to break up that well-fortified position. Foggy spent a lot of time setting up those Druids of the Talon in a way where they were fairly well protected while able to dish out damage. As soon as you saw 3 or 4 lightning shields go down across, or 4 lightning shields go down across those Druids of the Talon, you know that that damage over time would start to rip them apart. That simple act of having to break camp and not attack for about 4 or 5 seconds really is what gave Sowen that better positioning and being able to focus down some of those units. Really, really smart play right there. Use of Lightning Shield against Druids of the Talon. Who would have thought? Raiders are now starting to join back in on the battlefield instead of having all of those grunts. And as this army transitions into Raiders, Foggy's army of Druids of the Talon are going to feel weaker and weaker. Sowen sitting at 71 supply. Ancient of Wars joining in on the battle as well. They are giant, beefy units that and can absorb a lot of damage, cannot be ignored. Yes, they are a bit slow, but, well, the Blade Master also cannot wind walk through them. All right, continuing that fight here once more. Demon Hunter continuing this pressure, continuing this push. So much fairy fire. Blade Master is, well, trying to get out of that spot, and you can see that Pocket Factory was actually blocking that Blade Master from getting through once more. AOWs, Ancient of Wars, just living up, just bringing the hurt, making the opponent say "ow" as the Spirit Walkers are just pushing back here. It looks like this army is going to be able to escape easily, as we're looking at, well, the Serpent Ward is going to finish off the Tinker. The Tinker gets up to level 70 in time as a couple more Serpent Wards get taken down. All right, this Great Hall. And, well, it looks like bonus damage is going to be done here. How much damage can it really take? That Goblin Tinker trying to rack it up as we're looking at peons here. It looks like it's going to be a trading of the expansions, pretty much, as the Ancients of War are off in the position to try and take this down. Meanwhile, off to the north, Raiders are here as well. And Sowen says, if you won't let me have an expansion, I won't let you have an expansion. Oh, 70 hit points, not level. Again, sorry, 70 hit points. You knew what I meant. He was down to 14 hit points, leveled up, and was able to stay alive. Yeah. All right, slip of the tongue right there. Now, we are back to 0 bases on both sides. Yeah, level 70 Tinker, like, he looks at a building and it just gets destroyed. All right. Ancient of War, well, on the move again. Shadow Hunter, Blade Master, all ready to go. Raiders are on the move right here. And we are looking at the Tree of Eternity. Well, reposition. And this is going to be a forced fight. Foggy does have, Foggy does have an army here ready to go. The downside is Staff of Preservation will not be saving any units in this battle. 66 over 60 supply. There are no Moonwells here, so it's not really any sort of advantage for Foggy, even though it is technically his home base. No income is, well, very scary indeed, as we are looking at the Gargantuan Sea Turtle Creep Camp getting finished off here. A little bit of extra gold from creeping, and that is it. Sowen sitting at 75, or down to 12 good gold Clarity Potion, and this may be the last push indeed. So far, Blade Master doesn't have any survivability items either. No scrolls of healing. It is going to be Healing Wave that is going to have to carry this battle. Druids of the Talon here. Well, Tree of Eternity, will they be able to jump inside in just a moment? It looks like they will be able to do that. Ancient of Wars are off over here as well. Fairy Dragons going to go ahead and Mana Flare, and this is the battle. All right, Blade Master out of mana already, being forced to retreat back. Ancients of War trying to create a little bit of position as we're looking at a couple of ensnares go down too. Keeper of the Grove hiding around in the backfield. We're looking at Raiders getting picked up, and this battle might be good enough. Well, no, we see that Lightning Shield being used once more. No easy dispels. Ancient of Wonders even joining in on the battle as well, as anything with an AOW in its name is trying to join in on this fight to help win it. Serpent Wards, major damage with those Serpent Wards, 48 to 52 damage. And it's poking apart those Ancient of Wars so quickly as the Trends are joining in. Ancient of Wonders finally brought on over. That's Lightning Shield with a couple of ensnares, Scrolls of Healing. How much damage can really be done with just a handful of Lightning Shields? That is the question, as those two are now brought to the front line. All right, trying to get some damage back. Goblin Tinker taken down by a 224 critical strike as the Demon Hunter gets ensnared. healing. He should really be fighting back as well, as he should be able to apply some poison damage back to some of those other units. Tree of Eternity getting in some bash damage to 47 supply compared to 52. Sowen has to stick around here. The Blade Master taking some damage once more. There's a mana burn again. There's an entangle as the Tree of Eternity got in a couple of easy hits. All right, we are going back into Nightfall Cyclone. 48 supply compared to 52. Foggy is in a little bit of a sticky situation. Needs to retreat back. The Tree of Eternity trying to fight here as well. Shadow Hunter, Cyclone picking up those units as we see a couple of, important detonations go down. Blade Master now sitting at level 6. Serpent Wards, with very little mana, the Shadow Hunter can't do much with Serpent Wards any longer as the Blade Master is still fighting their way through. Foggy needs to hold the line, get the gold, and then pull the advantage any way he can. We do see some minor gold mining with a Walk of Shame coming back across there as we're now looking at the Keeper of the Grove trying to put pressure here. All right, Lightning Shield going down. Ancient of Wonders going to get taken down here. Demon Hunter sitting at level 4 going after these Serpent Wards to try and finish them off here. Gonna get a little bit more damage. Keeper of the Grove is still in that frontline spot. Damage time on those from those orbs of venom are really starting to take their toll as more disenchants go across. Demon Hunter down to 30 hit points. Scroll of Talent alive for at least another 2 seconds, but that's pretty much it as the Blade Master gonna finish off that Demon Hunter there. Demon Hunter now taken down. Blade Master is still off in that position right there. How much damage can get added up? Keeper of the Grove falls as well, and that may be the game as Foggy falls the 31 supply without any heroes going up against 2 level 6 Orc heroes. Units now retreating back once more. Raider, glad the way that this battle went. Goblin Tinker has been trained back up onto the battlefield. Spirit Walkers, Shadow Hunter, Blade Master. What is going to go down? Blade Master down to 250 hit points. Constant Purge. Fighting next to a Moonwell can be hazardous to your health. What is that Blade Master thinking? Down to 89 hit points as that Goblin Tinker just looked that strong. All right, more Purge going down. No Orb of Venom on the Goblin Tinker. And the Goblin Tinker actually ventured forth a bit too far as the Blade Master gets the final shot there too. Foggy with 800 gold and nothing to really spend it on, rehires up the Demon Hunter to try and win this battle some way, shape, or form. Demon Hunter says, you know what? I can still deal damage. 19 supply army going up against 46. That Blade Master does have Spirit Link, and a healing wave now makes him pretty much unkillable for Foggy. All right, I think we saw the GG on the wall 2 minutes ago, but there it is now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Foggy went into that battle with a pretty good situation, but was unable to overcome the heroes of Sowen, especially with the placing of 3 or 4 level 3 Serpent Wards to cause a bit of zoning. We noticed that Foggy simply just couldn't wait for those Serpent Wards. That piercing damage, 50 damage per attack, even against those Ancients of War. Those Ancients of War were quickly whittled down to nothing, even though they had 27 hit points between them. And through that all, Foggy played a great fight, but that last battle and the hero score and the hero kills, the final score shows a 25,000 point difference. It was really much, much closer for a while until all 4 heroes were lost and, everything just started and snowballed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.